Marvel Studios took over Hall H at San Diego's annual Comic-Con to spill all the details on the upcoming Phase 4 of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, spanning the years 2020 to 2021, and currently encompassing a total of 10 projects. For the first time ever, the MCU's next phase will not only include movies, but also short-form series, which will be exclusive to Disney's streaming platform Disney Plus, and all of which will be intrinsically linked to the MCU timeline, with production values akin to those of the movies. There were certainly some expected announcements, but there were plenty of surprising ones too. In this video, I aim to go over the MCU's Phase 4 slate and briefly discuss every upcoming project, touching on the small nuggets of info we have on them thus far. There is an epic collection of stuff to talk about here, so let's get into it. First up, landing on May 1, 2020, the first installment in the MCU's fourth phase will be the long-awaited and long-rumoured Black Widow, directed by Law director Kate Shortland. The movie will of course star Scarlett Johansson as Natasha Romanoff in her first solo adventure, and will explore Black Widow's past and how she picks up the pieces and becomes a whole person. And according to Johansson, will also explore the flawed side of the character. The movie is set to be a prequel of sorts, taking place directly after Captain America Civil War, as Natasha returns to Budapest, aiming to settle old debts and right the wrongs of her past. As the movie is currently filming, Marvel were able to screen a short sizzle reel, with footage being described as gritty like the Winter Soldier, and featuring large-scale, high-stakes, Mission Impossible-style action-adventure. The film will also star Florence Pugh as Yelena Belova, a fellow Russian spy and sister figure to Natasha, David Harbour as Alexei Shostakov, aka the Red Guardian, the Soviet Union's answer to Captain America, and O.T. Fagbenle as nondescript character Mason. The movie will feature two villains, Rachel Weisz as Milena Vostokov, aka Iron Maiden, a Russian assassin and mercenary with a deep-seated hatred of Natasha, and the Taskmaster, who has photographic reflexes and the ability to duplicate anyone's moves without practice. No cast member has been attached to this role yet. Next up, on November 6, 2020, will be The Eternals, directed by Chloe Zhao. The movie will focus on the immortal race of supreme beings, described as an offshoot of the evolutionary process in which the Celestials created sentient life on Earth. According to the Marvel Comics website, all Eternals have the ability of superhuman strength, telepathy, flight, teleportation, illusion casting, transmutation of organic and inorganic matter, and the generation of various forms of energy from their bodies. Not much is known of the Eternals plot just yet, but the film was described by Feige as full Jack Kirby, so we're likely to expect another epic, extravagant space adventure akin to the Guardians of the Galaxy. The movie will star Angelina Jolie as Thena, Salma Hayek as Ajak, Richard Madden as Ikaris, Kumail Nanjiani as Kingo, Brian Tyree Henry as Phastos, Dong Lee as Gilgamesh, Lauren Ridloff as Makari, and Liam McHugh as Sprite. Following in the fall of 2020 will be previously announced Disney Plus series The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, which will return Anthony Mackie and Sebastian Stan to their respective roles from the movies. The series will be set post-Endgame and will take a deeper dive into the characters of Sam Wilson and Bucky Barnes as they are forced to team up against the returning Baron Zemo for the first time since Civil War, who will once again be played by Daniel Bruhl, who will this time around finally wear the iconic purple mask from the comics. The series is also set to explore Wilson's first steps into the role of Captain America, and as confirmed by Mackie himself, will feature the character not only strapping on the shield, but suiting up in the armor as well. The first MCU outing for 2021 will land on February 12, and will be the long-rumoured Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, directed by short-term 12 director Destin Cretton. The movie will introduce Shang-Chi as the MCU's newest headliner and the franchise's first leading Asian hero. The character is described by the Marvel Comics website as the undisputed master of Kung Fu, who seeks peace and harmony in a weary world while opposing those who would tear it down. It's previously reported that the character would be modernized in order to avoid stereotypes. In the leading role will be Chinese-Canadian actor Simu Liu, who it appears has been lobbying for the part for many years. The movie will see Shang-Chi face off against the mysterious terrorist organization The Ten Rings, whose three trades run right back to the origins of the MCU in 2008's Iron Man. He will also come head to head with the organization's leader, the Mandarin, who appears in the MCU for the very first time after Iron Man 3's Mandarin was revealed to be an imposter. Celebrated Chinese actor Tony Leung will take on the role of the Mandarin. Awkwafina has also been announced to be playing a currently undisclosed role. Next up is the previously announced Disney Plus series WandaVision, landing in spring of 2021, which will return Elizabeth Olsen and Paul Bettany back to their roles of Scarlet Witch and the Vision. It was announced that WandaVision will take place following the events of Avengers Endgame, but will also be somehow set during the 1960s. Olsen revealed that the series will finally allow us to understand Wanda Maximoff as the Scarlet Witch, while Bettany kept cryptic about how the Vision is set to return following his death in Infinity War. The show has been described as strange, weird, unexpected, and surprising. The series will also introduce actress Teyonah Parris to the MCU, who will play the grown-up version of Monica Rambeau, the young daughter of Maria Rambeau first seen in Captain Marvel. Monica Rambeau first appeared in comics in 1982 as the second Captain Marvel, and over the years has taken on such mantles as Photon, Pulsar, and Spectrum. She has all the typical energy manipulation abilities of the Captain Marvel character. Feige also teased that some other characters that you have met before in the MCU will appear in the series as well. Also dropping in the spring of 2021 is a third Disney Plus series, Loki, which will see Tom Hiddleston once again return to his fan-favourite role. The series will follow the adventures of 2012-era Loki, who escaped with the Tesseract during the events of Avengers Endgame, and will see him travel to various locations. It's said to be exciting and will explore the character's psychological evolution following the events of the Avengers, considering that this Loki has not yet lived out the events of films such as Dark World, Ragnarok, or Infinity War. If you haven't been closely following the events of the MCU these past 11 years, this is where the timeline starts to get a little weird. And talking of weird timelines, the MCU looks to officially introduce the multiverse in May 7, 2021 movie Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, directed by Scott Derrickson, who helmed the Sorcerer Supreme's first outing. Multiverse of Madness will be the MCU's first horror movie, described by Derrickson as scary, encompassing a lot of the psychedelic weirdness and gothic horror elements of the comics. Feige revealed that the movie will be rated PG-13 and said audiences are gonna like it. Benedict Cumberbatch will once again return to the role of Dr. Stephen Strange, and this time round he will be joined by Elizabeth Olsen, who reprises her role of Wanda Maximoff in the immediate aftermath of the WandaVision series, showing early signs of just how intertwined and pivotal these Disney Plus shows will be. The MCU's first ever animated series will follow in summer of 2021 with What If debuting on Disney Plus. The series will take an alt-reality look at the MCU following the comic series of the same name, with each episode taking a pivotal moment from the MCU and turning it on its head, leading the audience into uncharted territory. The series' first episode, for example, will ask the questions: what if Peggy Carter was the one who became a super soldier? And what if Steve Rogers had stayed a scrawny young kid but joined the fight with an armoured suit built by Howard Stark? The series will star Jeffrey Wright in the recurring role of the Watcher, whose task is to observe and chronicle the great events within the multiverse. It's also set to star many MCU alumni who will return to voice their characters from the movies, including Chris Hemsworth, Jeremy Renner, Mark Ruffalo, Paul Rudd, Sebastian Stan, Tom Hiddleston, Samuel L. Jackson, Michael Douglas, Natalie Portman, Jeff Goldblum, Josh Brolin, Chadwick Boseman, Michael B. Jordan, Hayley Atwell, Karen Gillan, and Taika Waititi, amongst many, many others. Following in the fall of 2021 will be another Disney Plus series, Hawkeye, which will return Jeremy Renner to his role of Clint Barton. The series, however, will see Barton training up a protege, the long-rumoured Kate Bishop, who Renner referred to as the better version of Hawkeye. The series will take inspiration from the recent series of Hawkeye comics featuring Bishop and Barton, written by Callie Thompson. So far, casting has not been announced for the role of Bishop. No other details were revealed on this one either. However, Renner noted that the series is about being a superhero without powers. And finally, November 5, 2021 will see the return of our favourite Asgardians in the 4th Thor film, Thor, Love and Thunder, directed by Ragnarok Helmer, Taika Waititi. The film will return Chris Hemsworth and Tessa Thompson to their roles of Thor and Valkyrie respectively, with Valkyrie settling into her new role as ruler of Asgard. Thompson revealed that Valkyrie's first order of service as king will be to find her queen, perhaps ushering in the MCU's first LGBTQ character, as many had speculated. And in an incredibly surprising turn of events, Natalie Portman, who everyone thought was done with the MCU, will return to her role of Jane Foster in the film, which will see her wielding the mighty Mjolnir as the first female Thor on the big screen. The film will thus, in part, take inspiration from Jason Aaron's recent series of comics, The Mighty Thor, where Foster takes up the mantle of Goddess of Thunder. With Foster now seemingly the MCU's Thor and Valkyrie the new King of Asgard, we're left to wonder where that leaves our OG Thor, especially considering he was last seen flying off with his new powers, the Asgardians of the Galaxy, at the finale of Endgame. But what that movie also showed us is that more than just one can hold the hammer at any given time, just as the Mighty Thor comics do as well. So I'm sure there's plenty of exciting possibilities ahead. While these movies round out the immediate future of the MCU, taking a look at Disney's recently revealed release schedule, there are a remaining 3 as yet untitled MCU movie release slots slated for 18th of February, 6th of May, and 29th of July 2022. At the very end of the panel, without going into detail, Feige dropped some hints as to what we can possibly expect to see in the future, officially confirming Captain Marvel 2 and Black Panther 2 are in the works, as well as reiterating that Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 is still in production. Feige also acknowledged a brand new Fantastic Four film is in the works, which will usher the team into the MCU for the first time following the Disney Fox buyout, and also mentioned that mutants will soon be implemented into the franchise, leading to speculation of an upcoming X-Men film. And finally, an upcoming Blade movie was also announced, introducing the character into the MCU and returning him to the big screen for the first time since 2004's Blade Trinity. Two-time Academy Award winner Mahershala Ali will portray the MCU's version of Blade, the human with the strengths of a vampire and none of their weaknesses, except a never-ending thirst for human blood. No release date for Blade was announced, but given the casting is already sorted, it's likely to drop on one of the 3 2022 dates. What's certainly interesting about this casting is that Ali previously appeared in Netflix Marvel series Luke Cage as villain Cottonmouth, and now joins Alfre Woodard as the second character from that series to transfer across to the MCU as a different character, practically retconning the Marvel Netflix series from the MCU canon altogether. It's unclear whether these last few teased projects will round out a second half of Phase 4 or will kick off the MCU's Phase 5, but whatever the case, it looks like we'll have a super exciting and non-slowing MCU future. And at that, it's over to you guys. What are you most excited about with the MCU's upcoming slate? And what, if anything, do you have reservations about? Me personally, I cannot wait for Doctor Strange 2, Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and Thor, Love and Thunder. I have been dying for Jane Foster Thor for years. Fire away in the comments below and let me know your thoughts. If this is your first time viewing one of my videos and you'd like to see more like it in the future, then please don't forget to hit that big old subscribe button up on your screen, as well as that like button down below for that little extra support. Also, don't forget to check me out on social media, and please consider supporting me over on Patreon. Thanks for watching and have a fantastic day.